This video, learn how to make a trap from your image. How to detect if player hits this trap, using on trigger enter or on collision enter event. Understand when collider child is collide is the same on collider parent. And how to call event from C# script of collision object. Let's create new folder. Name trap. You can get these images free under video, or you can use your own ones. Make sure they are Sprite 2D and UI. Filter mode, pointer no filter, to make it better on pixel. And no compression to get the best quality of image, no blur. To add it into game, create a 2D square. Drop sprite of spike into this new object. Make it size bigger. If your image behind background and you cannot see it, change order layer to bring it in front. Rename object to spike. Now move it to a location you want. If you want to expand it, convert it to tiled. Make sure original size is correct. Or you can use this tool to adjust its size easier. Make it as big as you want. Let's try to add collider to this spike object. Click button, edit collider to adjust size of collider, to cover all this object. Press play to see how it works. Player can walk above this spike now. But if you want player can go through this trap, you can turn on is trigger. Now player cannot step on it, he goes through it. Let's do something to know when player is touching this spike trap. Create new C# script. Name it trap on trigger. Add this script to object spike and open it. Remove all unnecessary code. Because we are using is trigger for this spike collider. Any objects touching this spike on trigger enter 2D will be triggered, and collider of touched object will be added in this variable collision. So you can get it game object from its collider easily. Right now player touch spike object. Collision will be this collider of player, and you already got game object of player when it touched the spike. To make sure player touched this spike object, compare this name to see if it's player. Let's print out a message to tell that trap hit player. Save and press play. Whenever player touch spike object, event on trigger enter will be triggered now. If you want player can walk on this spike, turn off is trigger. Event on trigger enter doesn't work anymore, because on trigger enter works with is trigger only. To make it works, we need to create a new C# script. Name it trap on collision. On spike object, remove the old script. Then add new script trap on collision into. Open it. Because we don't turn on is trigger option. When another object touched this spike, event on collision enter 2D will be triggered. Just do the same thing to detect if it is player. If player touched spike object, print a message. Press play to test it. Anytime player touched or walk on the spike, event on collision enter will trigger. There are some notice you need to know here. Actually, player collider did not touch the spike. Only collider of player feet touched the spike object. And this player feet collider is inside player. So it consider player collider is touched the spike too. Last video, we added button restart. Anytime you click this button, current scene will be restarted. Let's do the same if player hit this spike trap. On player controller script, we created an event game restart to restart the current scene. After player hits this trap, you already have player game object here. Now let's handle to get script player controller on this player object. To do that, create a variable with type player controller. Name it player controller script. We will get component player controller from game object player. Add name of component you want to get into. Now you can access or call any public events from C# script player controller. Call event game restart to restart the current game scene. Press play to see our final result. If player hit the trap, game is over, or player will lose 1 health point, up to you. Next tutorial, make a trap with animation. Thank you for watching, and see you in next video.